Welcome to Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspirational Talks with your host, Dr. LaDonna Marie. I'm so excited to be here with you on this Planting Positive Seeds podcast, where we plant positive seeds in the lives of others daily. And tonight we have an extravagant guest. I'm so excited to have Dr. Rhonda Turner on the show. And so I'm going to just invite her in because I'm ready for this interview. How about you? Come on in, Dr. Rhonda Turner. How are
Hello,
you?
hello. I am good. I am glad to be here. Grace
Good.
and mercy.
Good. I'm so glad to have you. I love my podcast is all about helping people to just know that they're not alone. You know, you
Mhm.
share your stories of triumph and you also share a story of how you've overcame something in your life. And so I want you to just introduce yourself to the guests of to the listeners of Inspirational Talks. You guys, I'm so excited to hear her story and to bring her here with you. So bear with me. But can you share a little bit about yourself to the listeners of Inspirational Talks?
Sure, no problem with that. Well, my name is Dr. Rhonda Turner, and I live in Palm Beach County. I am the founder and CEO of For Knowledge is Power. Think about what that just said. Four is the number four. Knowledge is power. You know what the word says about if we don't have knowledge.
Okay, we perish.
Okay,
Come on here.
that's right. So this is a nonprofit that's dedicated to strengthening families through youth development, marriage enrichment, and leadership programs. I'm also an 11-time best-selling author, speaker, and creator of platforms such as the Marriage Institute, the Wise Blueprint, and the Women Business Connect. So that's
Awesome.
about me.
Awesome. Listen, thank you so much, Dr. Turner, for being here. And thank you for bringing your wealth of knowledge and all that God has planted on the inside of you to share with others and, you know, with the people that you service.
Mhm.
Congratulations on every endeavor that you have taken on and those that will come. 11-time best-selling author. Okay, come on.
Every time.
Yay. And that is so wonderful. I'm just excited to have you here with the youth development and marriage enrichment. We know there are so many listeners out there that we may not know what they're going through, but I
Right.
love having guests to come on so you guys can share with them, you know, your expertise, and so they can grow and they can glean from what you're bringing to the podcast tonight. So I want you, Dr. Turner, at this time, just share with the listeners and myself what inspires you to do what you do.
Well, I'm inspired by my family.
Hmm.
Well, let's first say my faith, my
Amen.
family, and my community. I believe that every person has a God-given purpose.
Yes.
Every person. And my work allows me to help others discover and walk in their purpose. Seeing
Hmm.
lives change and people grow into leaders keep me motivated.
Yes.
So that is what inspired me, my faith, my family, and my community.
And that is wonderful. That's amazing because you know with our faith with God, you know, it's impossible to please him without faith. And so being able to stand on that foundation and have that firm foundation of faith and then with your family and with the people that you service. And so that is a great reason to be inspired, to help, to motivate, and to assist others in the community as and at large. And so thank you so much for sharing that. I want you to also briefly just share your mission and in your why, because so many times, I know there are listeners that's out there, business moms, single moms, and different things, and they start projects, and they may stop because of things that happen, and I know sometimes that happened to me, even with this podcast. I started it in 2014. I had two wonderful bundles of joy, my sons, and then I didn't start it back up till COVID came around in 2020. So here we are, 8 seasons later. But I want you to share your mission and why you keep going, Dr. Turner.
Okay. My mission is to empower families, strengthening marriage, and inspire women to lead with confidence and faith. My why is rooted in legacy. I want to leave behind the tools, the programs, and the resources that help generational thrive. So it's all about, you know, I always think, and people are like, well, why you want to do this marriage thing? Well, to me is because of, everybody has a story. So don't let nobody fool you that you ain't been through. Okay. So
Exactly.
everybody has been through, but with God, that everything is possible.
Yes.
So what we always figure that if we can get the head right, which is the married couple, we
Hmm.
can get them right, then the children will be better, and then the community can be even better. So you have to, get that line up right. First
Right.
God, and then the family, then the children, then your community. So I
Yes.
think it's very important that somehow we got away from what marriage is supposed to look like,
Hmm.
what family is supposed to look like,
Yeah.
and what our community should be like.
Yeah.
So that is my mission: is to empower families and strengthen marriage and inspire women and young folks to be the best that they can be.
Yes. Well, you know what, that's so important that we start at the top with God being our head, and then you strengthen that family component, because the family is our first ministry. We say it's in our home where we grow our kids and we love our spouse, and and we that flows out into each person that we meet, people we work with, our community. And so I'm so glad that you are one of those persons that said yes to helping people for the greater good, and making sure that they're rooted, the families, and, even, and the community be rooted
Right.
in everything that they do, so that we all can be better. We all can shine brighter, and we all can learn, from our mistakes, and even, strengthen each other. So thank you so much for just sharing your why with us, and your mission, because it's very important. I know that there's some women out there that are listening, that
Yes.
may need to reach out to you, Dr. Turner, may need to, take part in the wisdom that you have, and the wisdom that you have been sharing through your different programs and platforms, since you started. I also want to, because even though we're here, like I said, we're on Plant Positive Seeds, and we plant these seeds in the lives of others. We plant, someone else waters, and God, gives the increase. But I want you to share with them a time when you had to overcome an obstacle in your life, and share your journey and how you came out of it.
Well, I know when you had asked that question before. I have many different journeys.
Hey, share what you would like.
Uh, so there, I know one of my journey was being in a relationship with my oldest kid's father that was more like abusive. But
Hmm.
being young, you don't realize that kind of effort. You don't realize that. You think this is love. You think this is the way it's supposed to be. And they trick you, and you be like, oh, this ain't, the older you get, you be like, this ain't the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But through that journey, it taught me how to become a better person,
Hmm.
um, for not for just me, but for my children at that time as well. And then God said, "Is I guess if you do it what you're supposed to do, and you believe and you have that faith, even though you might have to go through some waters, you know,
Exactly.
He brought me, my husband, which
Hmm.
was you'd be like, "Oh, where'd you come from?" Like, so I had that journey, but God put me through those trials and tribulations to bring me through and
Yeah.
say, now here you go. Now you got to make sure you do right by it, but
Right.
here you go. So that was a journey. But there with my business, as far as my business, the times when resources from my nonprofit, and there's still times are limited
Mm-hmm.
out here, especially for what we do. Uh,
Yes.
but I know, but who want to give money for taking our kids on into historical sites, HBCUs? It's some people, but every year it seems to be a struggle till
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling funds out of our pocket. And so it gets to be like that's when you say you give up and then you come back to and like right now I usually have my tour planned, finished,
Mm-hmm.
done. But I haven't. I
Mm-hmm.
I haven't because it's like, am I gonna have to pull out 6, 7 thousand again out my money? So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the journeys, but I choose to stay focused and creative and
Yes.
trusting God. Sometimes we say we trust God, we have that faith, but then we like, well, where you at? You know, but he always on time. He's always
Right.
on time. And leaning on my community and staying focused on the vision. I learned how to
Mm-hmm.
turn obstacles into opportunities.
Oh wow. Well, listen, you're speaking right to me because I definitely understand what you're saying, even with the nonprofits and raising funds and you're doing things that you want to enrich like, the community and help. But it always seems like it's a struggle. And you do have to be like, okay, because I know there's been a many times with me over the years. I plan summits and different things with the nonprofit for girls and women, and it's always a struggle down to the last of, are they going to
And
come? We're going to have the money. We got the building.
they register the day of.
Right, exactly. And then, you do all of this and you have, I remember one time I had one person and her parent came from like overseas, from the Virgin Islands, and they came to the conference, but I had a few people from my church and, they came and I was like, Lord, it's fully furnished. I brought out all of the stops, but I had to service the people that were there because that's when he was like, you still got to feed the ones, feed my sheep, feed the people that come for what you prepared and what you have. And so I do understand that it takes that faith, it takes that dedication, it takes
Mhm.
for us to continue to not give up, even, like the Bible says, don't be weary and well doing. We have to continue to put our foot forward and know that God is going to work it out, with the people, with our faith and with the process. So thank you so much for sharing. And I know that in many things that we do, the enemy doesn't fight anything that doesn't have something like the treasures that we have. He tries to rob us and keep us off our
Yeah,
journey, but we
yeah,
triumph, we stay focused and we keep going. And so I thank you for sharing it because I know it's not easy. It's never easy when we're going through it. I often say on my show all the time, we have to go through to grow through. And so in
right,
that going through, we're growing, we're learning, we're knowing how to set stuff up and
yeah,
how to just wait and be patient as God sends people our way or he opens up those doors. And so it does take that faith of a mustard seed to just say, hey, God, I know
and
you're in this with me and you're going to work it out. It's all going to work together for our good. I often chant that throughout my day because
yeah,
reminding myself that all things work together for the good.
yes,
All
yeah.
things
'Cause
work.
the devil will always try to post something in it, won't he?
Exactly. He will
Always,
try to rain on our parade, but God, we thank
but
God. We thank God for he being all powerful, all knowing,
that's
and that
right.
he's sovereign and he will come to our rescue when we cry out to him.
That's
Oh
right.
wow. I know you have so much, wisdom and insight, but I also want you to share with the listeners some advice that you would have to maybe a younger person that maybe in one of the similar situations that you've been in your relationship, or if there is a, in business, just share some encouragement. Just speak to that person and share some encouragement with them right now. Because I know I have people who listen, and they want to know, Dr. Turner, how can you help them with these words of encouragement?
Listen, you're talking about someone that has five children. My oldest one, and I know I don't look it, I might look his age, 37 years old.
Wow, and you look amazing.
I, but Romero, they have taken me through some meals, and I've been working with children forever.
Mm-hmm.
Forever. And you know how some people are like, how's she gonna be out there trying to say the word? Look at her inside. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say never doubt the value of your voice or your vision.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Let me say it again. So you want to write it down. Never doubt the value of your voice or your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Many times I recall when I had put together a program, and this lady was like, and I had put together a marriage program, and she was like, oh no, this is the truth right here. We're gonna do this. Leave that marriage stuff alone for them grown people. Them people already set in their ways, they grown. That was something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But when you have to be mindful of telling your stuff before it gets to where God needed to.
Oh, yes.
Because
Right.
that devil will put it out
Mm-hmm.
here and say, girl, you don't need to work on that. Leave that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Leave
Mm-hmm.
that alone. And you
Yeah.
be like, okay. So I actually left it alone because that's what I heard her say. Like, all
Yeah.
right, ain't nobody gonna want to do that. And years later, I'm back at it, and I see the vision that
Yeah.
God has for me with this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say stay faithful, stay focused, and remember the setbacks and the setups for greater breakthroughs.
Ooh.
Keep going. You're stronger than you think.
Oh my goodness. That is so encouraging. That is so encouraging. Thank you so much for those words of encouragement. I know that it brightened up my day. The journey that I'm on with God, with all that He wants to do. I'm so focused on, walking in the fullness of everything that He wants me to do, making sure that I get to hear that servant well done, and the gifts and the talents that He gives me, that I don't drop the ball, and then I hear from Him, and you don't let your circumstances and your surroundings pull you off. I have a love for like the youth, preteens and teens, and it's so many times that people will say, hey, just you supposed to be working with adults. And I was like, I know, because I myself, I've written 14 books, but God, put me, some of them are for teenagers, some of them are for women, some of them are children's book. He told me that, hey, I'm the creator. I gave you this gift, so I'm gonna, put you where I want you at. And I had to not just listen to the people. I had to, stay true to what God says. And but my heart pulls for the teens, and then He gives me things for adults too. So thank you so much for
You are
just
so welcome.
encouraging myself and the listeners. At this time, I just want you to, if you have any final thoughts, if there's anything that I did not mention that you would like to share, you can also share with the listeners how they can connect with you. I'll put that down in the description. How can they connect with you, and anything that you have coming up that you would like them to maybe take a look at, or, be on the journey with you?
Well, my final thoughts. I always think about Lisa Nichols. If you all don't know, go listen to Lisa
Yes.
Nichols. And she always say, "Don't let nobody stop your light." And it's a when she said, if they ever say you so bright, that you so bright, just give them shades and say, here, because I'm not dimming my lights. So
Exactly.
just make sure you don't dim your lights for others,
Mhm.
because they say you're shining too bright. So I just think that you need to know who you are and continue to push forward to what your vision is and what your goals is and what your dreams are. What I have coming up is, oh, so much stuff. I just can't even. I would tell you, if you are a wife, go follow me on the Wives Blueprint Facebook page. If you are married, you can follow us on the Marriage Institute page. Or if you are just a woman that is in business and like encouragement or like to do certain things, because we have different things we have going on in our group, go to Women Business Connect Facebook page. All of that stuff is in Facebook. And I personally have a Facebook page, Rhonda Williams-Turner. So you can always reach out to me on any of that social media.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Dr. Rhonda Williams-Turner, for being here on Inspirational Talks with Dr. LaDonna Marie. I know that the people that are listening will be encouraged from everything that you shared today. I want to continue to just say congratulations in advance for all that God will do through you in this year and the next. And I just want to thank you again for sharing sharing your story here with us tonight on Inspirational Talk. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for listening. Peace and blessings, everyone. Y'all have a great, great night. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. This has been another purpose-packed episode of Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie, a Planting Positive Seeds podcast. Please remember to like, share, and tell your friends about the podcast. Stay tuned for many more Inspirational Talks with LaDonna Marie.